All right. Hello, hello. Today we're reviewing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, Mutant Mayhem, as they call it. Um, this movie was a really good surprise, I must say. I'm not really a huge turtle fan. Ninja Turtles is something I never really grew up with. But I have seen the 2007, I believe, 2008 animated movie TMNT. And I remember watching that movie and fairly enjoying it. I mean, I was 7 years old. I don't really remember much from back then, but for the most part, I do remember mostly enjoying that movie. But there was one scene in particular from that movie where it was Leonardo and Ralph going head to head, and that when it was raining and all the combat stuff was happening. I remember that scene a lot. But other than that scene, I do. It was just an okay movie. After rewatching it a few days ago, it's just all right. Nothing special. But now with this new one, I was very excited to report that it was a pretty good movie. I'm gonna just get the controversial stuff out of the way. Yes, they are voiced by teenagers. Oh my god, what a surprise! The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are voiced by teenagers. I never understood that controversy when the first trailer released. They're it's literally in their names. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage. It actually made sense that it would be voiced by teenagers, and I gotta say the chemistry between all four voice actors, all it was actually pretty smooth and pretty exciting. Uh, I like how none of the dialogue was kind of like forced. I saw like a behind the scenes interview, how I think some of the writers and stuff and the producers on set were letting those four kids like improvise some of their dialogue, which I believe is a great idea. It wasn't forced. Some of the dialogue wasn't forced by like a 40-year-old writer trying to use words like Riz or like sus, stuff like that, because those two words are in this movie and they don't feel forced at all, which is great. Which means that they actually let these teenagers improvise their scenes, and the connection they all had was they actually felt pretty close. Like they felt like they had a brotherhood within each other, which is fantastic. I find it funny that the person who voiced April O'Neil in this movie is a 27-year-old woman, which is kind of weird because the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in this movie were voiced by teenagers, and April O'Neil is a teenager in this movie, and I don't understand why they didn't do the same thing for for April. But overall, the actress's voice acting is fine in this movie. She's great. Uh, I don't really have much to say. I mean, I know the controversy between the this version of Mutant Mayhem's April O'Neil versus the others isn't like what everyone is used to, because everyone knows like the Megan Fox April O'Neil and like the old school '90s April O'Neil actress. I don't know her name, but yeah, it was fine. The change didn't really matter. I didn't really care because like I said, I never really grew up with the turtles, but that change didn't really bother me at all. The animation in this movie is very unique. I don't want to say it's like Spider Verse because it feels like it's its own thing. Like you could tell if you showed a clip that doesn't include the Ninja Turtles, and then another clip that doesn't involve like a Spider-Man character. If you put like an image back to back, you could tell that they're different movies. You could tell which one is Spider Verse and which one is Ninja Turtles, which I believe is great. I know I think it's like I'm pretty sure it's highly inspired by Spider Verse, but it's still able to do its own thing, kind of like what the bad guys did, and what else? Puss in Boots. That movie, the animation style was very great as well. But I wouldn't say the animation is better or worse than Spider Verse. I would just say that it's its own thing, like I said. But I do like how some of them, like some of the scribbles that they had like in each like scene. I like it, that detail, because it just looks like something like a little kid would draw, like just not paying attention in like class or something, which is good because this movie's aiming for like kids. So I believe that was a great decision for having those little details on like the walls or like mirrors or just little scribbles. It was a cool thing to see. Jackie Chan and Ice Cube are in this movie, And Jackie Chan plays Splinter, the rat. If you guys don't know, he's the rat character. Uh, he is a very satisfying voice, Jackie Chan. I'm glad he's still acting. I'm glad he did this role because he is. It kind of makes sense, you know. He's not like, I'm not sure how they are in the other Ninja Turtle movies, but Splinter, he's basically like a sensei. But I guess in this movie, it's his dad, or it's their dad, the turtles. But I believe his voice acting was great in this movie. It felt nice. Like it felt like it was a right casting choice. I don't know how else to say it, but Ice Cube as Superfly in this movie is also pretty interesting because I don't know, Ice Cube voice acting Superfly. It didn't make sense to me. I couldn't. It was so hard to get over Superfly's like figure, and then just have Ice Cube's voice just pop out of his mouth. It was just weird. That's like kind of like my only complaint about the movie. And also, I don't know how. I don't really, like I said, I'm not really into the Ninja Turtles like that. But the ending was kind of over the place. There were so many characters that they introduced that they didn't really like introduce, if you know what I mean. Like they showed up, but they didn't really get much of a backstory. All of them, they're just a bunch of random back characters that are in the movie for a significant amount of time, but none of them really get any like development or anything. So if I was to critique the movie about a few things, to be that and Ice Cube's voice acting. But other than that, this movie is great for families, for kids, and for someone like me who loves film. But if you're in the mood for a comedy and and animation, I believe this is a movie for you. And this is also one of those movies where it just proves more and more where sometimes animation may be the way to go. I know a lot of people don't like animation; they think it's like only for children, but it's not. Spider Verse is a great reason, is a great movie to actually push that narrative out that you don't need a live action adaptation to be a successful movie. And also, this movie's great as well. But yeah, that's just my opinion on the movie. Also, I appreciate how this movie is only 1 hour and 30 minutes. It was able to go basically straight to the point, not taking itself too serious. It was just a right flow of an hour and 30 minute movie. Hopefully, in the next movie, it'll probably establish itself more a little bit, and then it can get into like the more serious side of storytelling. But yeah, I just want to throw that out there. Like it, this is a very nice and smooth 1 hour and 30 minute movie. And if you're someone who doesn't like more than an hour and 30 minute movies, then this movie's literally for you. It's got action, it's got comedy, it's got a little dash of romance in there. It's also animation, and there's also a really surprisingly good arc in this movie as well. So that's something to keep in mind. But that's all I got for this review today for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. Leave a like down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.